After a gritty comeback last night, the Cats fell short on Broadway against the Rangers. Tonight, the Panthers search the island looking to find a win as they end their road trip. It's the ending for the only place the Islanders have called home in their NHL existence. They'll move out of Nassau Coliseum after the season. They're making this a memorable finale. The Panthers and Islanders battle it out on Fox Sports Florida. Live from Uniondale, New York, Panthers hockey is on the air. Tonight, the Cats try to claw their way to a win before heading home. Al Montoya will get the start in goal against the high-flying Islanders, who sit in first place in the Metropolitan Division. Hi, everybody. I'm Steve Goldstein, along with a guy that knows every inch of this building inside and out, Hall of Famer, former Islander, Denny Potvin. Final season before they move to Brooklyn, Denny, and they're making this one a good one.
They certainly have, and it's good for the fans that have been here and loyal for all of these years. The Islanders have done a lot of things well, and first of all, they have not had long extended slumps. If they lose tonight, losing 3 in a row would be the longest losing streak they've had all season. Take a look at the numbers, regular season. They have been very good so far, and the Florida Panthers in their the New York Islanders in their 42nd season, they are now looking for the longest tenure in the NHL. So this hockey team has played very well in many instances, and the Florida Panthers would love to match that kind of intensity tonight.
Well, if they do, they'll need the line led by 19-year-old Alexander Barkov to come up big again. They've been good.
They have been very good. They were also good last night against the New York Rangers. Brad Boyes has been good for a while. You know about the streak with Barkov, but Brad Boyes, a veteran on that hockey team, has kind of kept the glue together. Every now and then gets his own goal. On the other side, the left side, we saw the strong play of Huberdeau going all the way back to when the turn of the year in January, when he was very strong on the West Coast trip. He has continued his high performance.
I will look for that line tonight. What else are we looking for? Well, Billy Lindsay caught up with head coach Gerard Gallant a little while ago. Our Lexus keys to tonight's game.
60-minute game, we got to play 60 minutes, and we're playing a real good New York Islanders team, so we got to be better, and back-to-back nights, hard and short shifts, and like I said, be a 60-minute game for us.
And everyone rolling, do you need everyone to contribute more on a higher level?
Yeah, definitely. We talked about that just in a pre-game meeting. Let's make sure we're going to work for 60 minutes, and let's have a higher level. Let's be more physical on the board. Let's get our forecheck going a little bit better, and let's make sure we're playing a lot better defensive hockey than we did last night.
And Billy is up next. He's got 2 scorers to keep an eye on tonight. One hot Panther and a red-hot New York Islander captain amongst the NHL's top guns. Panthers hockey on Fox Sports Florida is brought to you by your South Florida Lexus dealers. Proud sponsor of the Lexus Rink at the BB&T Center. By ADT, the most trusted name in security. Call 1-800-510-9067 for your free ADT quote. And by Subway. Visit Subway.com. Subway. Skate hard, eat fresh. Getting set for the Panthers and the New York Islanders. We go ice side for Billy Lindsay. Who are you looking for tonight, Billy?
Well, first off, Goldie, I'm looking for a win. 1 win in the last 8 games. The Panthers have to be better. The Cleveland Clinic players to watch for the Florida Panthers, it's going to be Brandon Perry. He's been on quite a roll. Has 4 goals in his last 5 games, and look at a lot of these goals. It's a quick release, and he's a left-handed shot playing the right side. He's available for a lot of those one-time shots. Gets that shot away in a hurry, and he is starting to feel it offensively for the Panthers. On the other side, John Tavares, 23 goals on the year. He does have 10 power play goals. I talked to Gerard Gallant. He said you got to make sure you know where he is on the ice at all times. Try and punish him physically. The numbers for Perry, 4 goals last 5 games. John Tavares, almost 2 points a game in his last 6. The one thing you're going to have to watch for here tonight, the New York Islanders have the worst penalty kill in the National Hockey League. Maybe the Panthers have an edge, score some power play goals. And no Kyle Opogo for the New York Islanders, one of their best players. But this will be the final trip here to Nassau Coliseum. Panthers looking for a victory.
Thanks, Billy. Veteran Dave Bolin has been picking up his point production of late. 2 points last night at Madison Square Garden. Tonight in goal, the Panthers will look to Al Montoya. It's the Cats and the Isles coming up next. Welcome back, everybody. Nassau Coliseum, the spot tonight for the Panthers and the New York Islanders. Only visit this year for the Panthers here to the island. And BB&T has our goaltending matchup.
Well, for the visiting Florida Panthers, Al Montoya played exactly 52 games between 2010 and 2012 as a New York Islander. So familiar with this place, maybe one of the reasons why he's in the lineup. On the other side, Yaroslav Halak, very good record against the Florida Panthers, but as I always say, nothing stays the same for very long.
Here we go. Goodbranson and Mitchell back on defense. It's that Barkov line we spoke about up front. Franz Nielsen works a turnover. And Hamonic able to keep it in the zone. Nielsen again, puck deflects. And we'll get a high stick call. The puck was touched with a high stick 20 seconds into the game. Baptist Health has our scratches. Gerard Gallant, we talk about it all the time, as the 14 healthy forward. So it's almost a rotation amongst the veterans. And tonight, Denny, Upshaw and Fleischman are back in. Bergenheim and Thornton are out.
Listen, he's trying to think and find some kind of combinations in terms of the line rotation that can work effectively and consistently. This team has not won a lot in the last several weeks. Those lines have not come to show their mettle, except maybe for that Barkov line that is on the ice right now. Boy, they had a good night in New York, but it wasn't enough to beat a very good Ranger team that showed up all four lines.
Panthers were 3-3 with the Rangers heading into the third with about 12 minutes left. A bad luck goal off a bounce of a Panther stick. And that was the game winner for the Rangers. A game the Panthers were down 3-1 and came back. But, you know, when these veteran players, Denny, when they get this opportunity to get in the lineup, got to make the most of it and make it impossible to take them out of the lineup. That's what Brandon Peary has done.
Well, Brandon Peary has a special skill, and not a lot of players have that. Very seldom you see in the NHL. There's a shot going wide. A guy who, whenever he shoots the puck, seems to be in motion towards the puck. I can think of guys like Kessel in Toronto. Tremendous at getting motion towards the puck and then the release.
Here comes Jussi Jokinen. Puck deflected. Hayes hustling after it, but it's cut off there by Leddy, having a nice season for the Islanders. With 21 points. They picked him up from Chicago just before the season. And Bailey's got a chance. Puts it out in front and they score. Lee.
The New York Islanders have lost 2 in a row. Not once this season have they lost 3 in a row. So they have a lot going on. But watch as Tavares, I think that could have been offside, but of course that was not the angle that we saw. It was not the best of angles, but boy, I'll tell you what, it certainly looked like Anders Lee may have had a couple of inches on Tavares as he crossed the line. I don't think it was an issue with the linesman, so we have to assume it was not the case, but then the rest of the play was textbook.
Well, again, you know, a breakdown defensively in the zone, allowing the Islanders that top line just way too much time and way too much space, Denny. It's the one thing that they always say, how do you combat these high-end offensive players? Take away their time and space.
And sometimes they're not really known to the general public. Anders Lee's got 14 goals, also has 5 game winners. That is tied with Tavares for the most game winners on the Islanders. So here's a guy, Anders Lee, little known, but contributing in a big way for these Islanders.
What a find. A 6th-round pick in 2009, Lee. This is his 68th NHL game. That's his 24th goal, and he's a big guy, too. See Bailey and Tavares getting the helpers. Tavares came in, tied for 11th in the NHL in scoring. So the Panthers down 1 early. McKenzie to center on the shoot-in. Kopetsky and Upshaw with him tonight on this line. Travis Hamonic looking to clear and does get it to center. Ekblad's there to bat it back inside the Islander zone.
Well, I will tell you something, and maybe it's a little bit of an insider comment, but this ice is really good. It always has been good here in Nassau Coliseum.
Montoya the save. Big rebound in front. Montoya got a piece of it. Loose puck now. And Kopetsky able to settle it down and find an open man. Here comes Ekblad rushing through center. On the wing for Upshaw. Takes a shot that's well wide. Ekblad is there to play it in deep. Huberdeau takes away. Sets up Jokinen. Quick shot save. Halak up high. Upshaw jams to the rebound, but Kuhlman for the Islanders able to clear it out.
You know, you see Barkov release the puck quickly when he's passing. That was as quick a release on the shot as you see Barkov trying to set up teammates. Looking good, shooting from 20 feet.
Yeah, my error. I thought it was Jokinen. I saw the 6. Boy, Barkov is, I mean, he's such a young player, but there's a small sample size, but clearly the best he's been playing in his career between last season and half of this season.
You know, it's a good point you bring up, Goldings. I asked Jared Gallant about that. I mean, what was, you know, where did the light turn on? And he said, well, he's young, you know, it just happens. And I think he's absolutely right.
He and Boyes play a little catch. Barkov for Boyes. Quick shot goes high over the net. Here's another quick pass by Barkov, who scored last night, as you said. Now has 11 points in his last 12 games. And Barkov takes away and gets to center ice.
All too familiar for the Panthers, down by 1. So it's been happening the last couple of weeks, but they have been able to come back and tie things up at times, as they did last night. And we'll see what they can do here in the first period.
Bjugstad has Jokinen and Hayes with him tonight. Good Branson from the point. The wrister Halak down on his pads. Able to make the stop.
Hey, fans, if the Islanders win tonight, tomorrow you'll receive
Jack Capuano, the head coach for the Islanders, he's done quite a job for this team, getting this team back in it. So there's some question marks over the offseason. Would he stay or would he go? But ended up staying here in Long Island, and this team has had quite a turnaround under Capuano.
Well, I don't want to kind of fan this exciting campground fire, but Capuano got a couple of pretty good defensemen all of a sudden that had never been part of the organization, and Boychuk and Leddy.
Goal for the Panthers as it goes in from the boards, and they do answer right back to tie it. The Bjugstad line.
Now, who was it that we're trying to say shoot the puck more? That puck came from the corner, and Bjugstad, I'm sure, will be credited with the puck. It was a quick turnaround, and I don't know if Jimmy Hayes did get a piece of it or not. It may have hit the stick of the defenseman. Take another look. Yep, I do think it may have hit the stick of defenseman Wisnowski and gone directly past a defenseless Halak.
Big response for the Panthers 3 minutes after the Islanders take the lead. Islanders had the first 4 shots. Panthers have had the last 3.
To finish the thought, I mean, Boychuk and Leddy added to the lineup made a big, big difference in the New York Islanders, who all of a sudden solidified their back line. And then, of course, the play of Halak, another acquisition by Garth Snow, the GM.
Hayes has a chance to the backhand, and Halak got a piece of it and it skipped wide. What a feed there by Jokinen.
Now, why doesn't that one go in? The Florida Panthers need to have those kinds of plays end up in being a goal and a quick lead. They just have not been able to put those 2 and 3 goals together where they bury another team early.
They put the pressure on after the Islanders got that first goal a minute 44 to the game. 5.5 gone by now, and we are even. Bolin with Peary and Fleischmann on his line tonight. Fleischmann throws it over the Islander blue line. DeHaan up ahead for Hamonic. And he flips it ahead for Franz Nielsen. Takes a look. Centering pass. Tipped away. Kulikov wins the battle and finds Brandon Peary. He'll throw one on goal. Halak forced to cover up as Peary bear down.
It's 14th of the season. Assistant number 27, Nick Bjugstad.
Upcoming shows at the BB&T Center. It's a big month of February, including this weekend and a whole lot more. Ticketmaster.com or 954-835-SHOW. Panthers are home Thursday night against the Kings, then the 2 shows, and then Sunday afternoon for the Nashville Predators. Right now, they give the goal to Jimmy Hayes, his 14th. Down low, Fleischmann gloved it down, and Halak able to cover right in the blue paint. Jimmy Hayes continues to add to his career best goal total, his 14th. Has us even. Well, the Islanders have quite a history, Billy, here on Long Island. They're trying to finish their run in this building with a big playoff run this season if they can.
And there you see the number 5 hanging from the rafters. Mr. Potvin, this is your final trip to Nassau Coliseum before they officially move to Brooklyn next season. Little flashback. Look at the beard on that man. Wow. How old were they then? 17, 18?
Yeah,
Full beard?
The beard was 1980 Stanley Cup.
Okay, there we go. But look at the flashbacks. That helmet, too. Where'd you find that thing? Gazoo would have been proud off the Flintstones wearing that helmet.
Billy, I'm not really proud of it. I love that helmet, but they used to call me Bubblehead.
Bobblehead. Well, it worked very fine, Denny. Celebrating and up in the rafters, always fine in this Nassau Coliseum. Are you going to be sad to see it go?
Yes, of course. And, I'm also sad for a lot of the fans that are here now. Many of them have been generational, you could say, in terms of the loyalty to the Islanders. And they're going to be losing an NHL franchise. That is no light matter. And oftentimes they never get replaced. So they will go to Brooklyn. A lot of the fans here feel that it's just a train ride away, but it's not Nassau County.
And a lot of excitement here. 9 of the last 10 games have been sellouts for this Islander team. They've generated a lot of buzz. Really happy about their hockey team.
Well, and as we discussed, you wonder if they put together a year like this a few years ago when all the conversation was, here's a chance for the Panthers, and Fleischmann is stopped, then Fleischmann ships wide. We'll get back to it in a moment as the Panthers continue with the pressure.
Well, you might put that save down as a highlight. He has made 2 of them, has Halak, that has kept this game at 1-1.
7 straight shots for the Panthers in this game, making 8 now after the Islanders had the first 4.
Sometimes lately you take a look and you say, how is it that the other team seems to score easily or at will? It doesn't get any better than this play for Fleischmann. He's got all day. He is all alone with the goaltender. Halak jumps out somehow, meets the shooter and the puck, and keeps this game at 1. Those are great saves for his team.
Quality play there by Peary. As we were saying, you wonder if the Islanders were having this big season when they were discussing perhaps building a new building or renovating this place. Would that have helped if the team was winning at the time?
Well, only if the people of Long Island would have been able to gather enough steam for a vote, because, not to be political, but the county of Nassau has never done a thing to help this franchise in terms of remodeling or, just making it better.
McKenzie speeds in, circles, and plays it down low. Kopetsky battling Hickey. But poked up the boards, and Josh Bailey is there. On the ice, Barkov wouldn't let him out. Scrum continues. Now Vishnofsky will get it ahead for Lee, the goal scorer for the Islanders. It goes off his skate. Now, not that far to get from here to Brooklyn. I mean, it's very doable.
Yeah. Well, listen, a lot of people from here and much further out, it's a daily excursion. They get on the train, they go to Manhattan. Thousands, millions of people making that trek every day. So certainly it's beautiful. It's doable.
Just a little further.
But I'll tell you a little story in a minute.
Clutterbuck shoots. Montoya the save, the rebound. And Ekblad able to get a hold of it for Huberdeau. Barkov breaks free. Huberdeau now is in. And the Panthers were in early, though. Offside.
So the current captain of the New York Islanders had a chance to talk with John Tavares at length this morning. And I said, look, you're going to Brooklyn. You may have the same challenge that we had in the early 70s. Most of the fans are going to be Ranger fans when you get to Brooklyn, just as they were when we got here in Nassau County. And you're going to have to win them over, and I hope you do, because we certainly did here over the years, and hence the famed New York Islander fan base in Fort Neverlose, as it was called. So John Tavares says we're going to do our best to have the same thing happen in Brooklyn, turn those Ranger fans into New York Islander fans.
Well, I grew up in Brooklyn and was a Ranger fan. I could only imagine the borough of Brooklyn becoming an Islander borough. That would be something I never could have imagined, but you never know. Jokinen puts it in front here off Bukestad's stick.
But you know, Goldie, what is it, the 4th largest city in the United States?
Yep.
5 million people in Brooklyn. Can you imagine the rivalry that could develop if they did win over, a good part of Brooklyn? It could be right back to where we were in the 70s and early 80s.
If you hit it right, it's about a 12-minute train ride from where they'll play in Brooklyn to get to Penn Station in Madison Square Garden. Here's Dave Bolin with a chance to the backhand. Oh, Halak made the save, and the rebound just eluded Fleischmann. The Panthers getting all kinds of great chances now. After the slow start in the opening couple of minutes, they have really picked up the intensity and are playing well.
You look through this stretch where the Panthers have struggled, and it's kind of like every goaltender they met has been playing outside of the boundaries. Halak has been outstanding. And now remember, Halak is a guy who's got a fair average, but at .912, it's nowhere near the best save percentage average in the NHL.
He finds ways to win. In fact, Halak is 23-6 in his last 29 decisions. Remarkable. Loose puck in the slot. Oh, Lee just overskated. 3-on-1 the other way. The lead for Upshall. He's got McKenzie going to the net. Upshall will shoot. He hit the post. He had Halak beat glove side. And Tavares the other way for the Islanders. A one-hander sticked away by Montoya. What an opening period. Midway through here on Long Island. Back and forth we go. Point shot wide. Hickey steps up. Plays it back for Bailey. His shot was blocked. Loose in the slot. Out in front. Montoya with a big save. It's still loose, and finally we get the whistle. As they get physical in Montoya's crease. Scotty Upshall nearly had the Panthers ahead right off the iron. As the Islanders scored first in the opening couple of minutes, the Panthers have answered, and they have had a number of great scoring chances, Denny, including Upshall moments ago.
Well, I tell you what, it is not hard to see who has got the better leg to this hockey game. Certainly the Florida Panthers looking for a little energy, getting a good shot on goal right there. Then you've got another one by Fleischmann, who was all alone in front of the net. Bolin comes in on the backhand, swiping away at it as Fleischmann again. Another shot on goal. This time, Upshall again went off the post. So the Florida Panthers have had innumerable chances. And it really should be a game where the Panthers now would have a deciding lead. But it has not been so, mostly because of Halak making really strong saves.
Well, very impressive. Upshall and Fleischmann getting back in the lineup. They have made their presence felt here in the opening 10-plus minutes with some real good chances. DeHaan for the Islanders, pressured by Boys. Cizikas feeds Martin. Try to get it back to him. Martin again. And Cizikas working down low. Forced to the outside by Mitchell. Try to climb to the slot, stolen away. Huberdeau to Boys. He'll chip in. Didn't work. Try to get around DeHaan. Markov's line goes for a change.
What you're seeing from this Panther team is a lot of forechecking pressure. Getting after it. Thomas Fleischmann buried Ryan Strome to set up Bolin in front, but the forecheck is causing the problems against the Islanders.
Here they come again on the forecheck. Petrovic steps up to hold it in the zone. Leddy pressured by Bukestad with the steal out in front. Jokinen, it chipped over the net. Petrovic holds it in. His wrister goes into the corner. Again, Bukestad bothering Boychuk, but it comes out to center ice. Petrovic under pressure now from Strome. Hayes there with Nelson. Petrovic walks away with it, knocked away again. And Brock Nelson moves in. The drop for Strome. Let's fly. Montoya, good save. Leddy feeds behind the net for Strome. Back again for Leddy. Kulikov working down low. Now it's Nelson. Pinned to the wall by Jokinen, allowing Petrovic to take away. And he gets it off the glass and out to center. Bolin with Peary and Fleischmann. Boy, they have had some good chances already.
Well, you know, just by the fact there's no noise in this building. It is a quiet building. And that's part of what you hear in the dressing room before you go out when you're playing on the road. Let's silence this crowd.
They force another turnover, the Panthers do. And Peary behind the net as it's swatted away. Campbell holds in, his wrister in front, knocked down. Peary trying to find it. Grabowski flips to the line, and then he'll speed out to center. Kuhlman is with him. Kuhlman is in. Ekblad deflected the shot, and it's out of play. The Panthers are back home Thursday night, and the Cats and the Cleveland are on South Beach. Getting together to bring you the ultimate fan experience. Fan Express bus between the Clevelander and the BB&T Center for Thursday's game. Go online or call 954-835-8890. First of a three-game homestand for the Panthers against the defending Stanley Cup champs Thursday night.
Not an easy NHL. You look at the LA Kings, defending Stanley Cup champs. They are fighting for a playoff spot in the Western Conference.
Outside looking in right now.
That's tougher out there, I think. There are a lot of teams here in the East that may not be looking at playoff spots, but I do believe that they're the kind of teams that will cause problems for teams who are in spots to make the playoffs.
Kopecky causing some problems here. Bounces right in front. Halak able to gather it in.
Just really an aggressive start by the Panthers. You hear that term, north-south hockey, a lot. They're getting to the blue line, they're dumping it in. No moves at the blue line, then just get after the defensemen and move their feet. They seem to be on their horse. Much more engaged than we saw in the game last game against the Rangers. It's working out well right now, and they talk about that north-south hockey. They have to play that way.
You know what? Gerard Gallant said 60 minutes, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
It didn't happen last night, and this is what they have to do. You're right on, Billy. It's just these guys have to do it for 60 minutes.
Keep that foot on the gas pedal.
Yeah, the goals aren't coming easily. We can certainly see that.
Jahan at the point. Throws one in wide. Cizikas behind the net along with Clutterbuck, and Clutterbuck's away with it. Hamonic with a wrister. Side of the net, Cizikas again. Ekblad with him. And now Martin joins in. Check by Boys. Free puck, Clutterbuck battling Huberdeau. Martin again. Point shot, knocked away. And Huberdeau forces it out of the zone finally. Hamonic waits for his teammates to change. Gives to Jahan. Hammers it in. Here's Boychuk stepping up offensively. Strome. Stolen away. Barkov gives to Hayes, and now it's Jussi Jokinen. Turned back by Boychuk momentarily. So the Islanders have settled it down now defensively. After the Panthers had that stretch of about 7-8 minutes with numerous quality scoring chances.
It would be easy to describe it as the New York Islanders survived an onslaught by the Florida Panthers.
Hayes trying to get in, but taken the other way. Nielsen lost it at center. Hayes lost it at the line. Aletti. And Hinkie dumps in. Willie Mitchell got a glove on it. Grabowski speeds out in front, tipped away. And Hayes on the clear to center ice. Continuous play now with 4:40 to go in the first period. Anders Lee for the Islanders, Jimmy Hayes for the Panthers, the goal scorers, each with their 14th of the year. Nielsen hit by Mitchell. Puck taken by Goodbranson. And finally Dave Bolin throws it down to his tape. Gives to Fleischmann on the wing. Round it goes for Brandon Peary. But it took a funny hop off the boards, and Tavares shifting out to center. The Islander captain in over the blue line, feeds the wing for Bailey. Back in front, deflected wide by Lee. Peary the other way in the shoot-in. Here comes Hamonic right up the middle. Throws it towards the net, knocked down at the goal line. Derek McKenzie sticked away from him. But Ekblad is there to clean it up for the Panthers. Lead feed Kopecky. Jahan and McKenzie to the end boards. Good hit by McKenzie. And now Cizikas tucks it ahead for Bailey. That clock continues to roll. Been a while since a whistle.
It looks like both teams decided to play a different game. No one really has an advantage right now. The puck lets the center ice, goes back in.
Here's Barkov getting around Leddy. Barkov, Leddy recovered for the poke check.
That's why you get veteran defensemen like him coming from Chicago. Little poke of the stick, no damage done, no penalty called, and there should have been. Great play by Leddy.
Yeah, Barkov for a moment there had that step. Yeah. He recovered, though, nicely. Barkov hit by Clutterbuck, free puck. Here's Martin knocked away. And Brad Boyes able to find an opening.
You know, maybe in another year down the road, we'll see Barkov figure out how to protect that puck a little better and get his opportunity on net.
Grabowski played well by Willie Mitchell. And Goodbranson took a big hit, but he got the puck ahead for Jokinen.
Played a solid game last night, most minutes in New York.
Bukestad sweeps in on the backhand, glove save, Halak. Yeah, you're referring to Goodbranson there with that big game in Madison Square Garden.
Just a hit to make the play.
We remain even at 1 late in the first. First period, the big boys, Bukestad and Hayes, combine to get the Panthers on the board tonight, Kenny.
Well, Goldie, I'm not going to sugarcoat it, but this is a big goal for both those guys. The shot by Bukestad and then the deflection by Hayes for the only goal of this period. They were terrible last night, and their coach let them know it. Bukestad never got a shot on net in New York, nor did Hayes, and they were both -3. Could have been the worst performance statistically, of course, we have to add, by both those giants on the up front for the Florida Panthers, and they know they've got to bounce back big time, and already they can gain a little bit of confidence from getting that goal, the first one for the Panthers, now tied at 1.
Jokinen got an assist as well. He leads the Panthers in assist as UC Jokinen, his first year in Florida. Here's Nielsen trying to get in. And a pad save Montoya. Rebound cleared by Bukestad. Forced out to center, and Jokinen dug it free. Willie Mitchell gives to Goodbranson. As we approach 2 minutes to go here in the first. Franz Nielsen, and now Grabowski makes a move and shoots, deflected by Mitchell, and it's out of play.
You know, one of the things that coaches do when things aren't going so well is make line changes, and we've seen them in a couple of instances all over the league. For Jack Capuano, this is the threat of having 3 losses in a row. That has not happened throughout this season, so he has made wholesale line changes in preparation for this game. Their last game was Saturday, so they've had plenty of rest, couple of days of practice, and now he's got new line combinations.
Off the draw, Bailey shoots wide. Kyle Opozo out of the Islander lineup. A scary eye injury, reportedly a detached retina that has him out. Dangerous. Visnovsky fires, deflected away.
Well, he was the second leading scorer, 44 points behind Tavares. That is a big loss. Could be 6 to 8 weeks.
Visnovsky holds it in on the line, but then it's taken away by Peary. And he'll finally get it out of trouble, skying it to center.
Closely, you may know, it's kind of like that bull, that power forward. Big, strong guy that goes in deep. He and Tavares that have many excellent nights together this season in terms of scoring-wise. And Oposo now will be dearly missed, I think, by the Islanders in this final stretch.
Yeah, big factor on the power play. That puck deflected and went out, so there's no delay of game call. Fox Sports 1 is the place to turn before every game with America's pregame show on Fox Sports 1 and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. That's America's pregame show. Weeknights at 6 only on Fox Sports 1.
2 minutes for delay of game.
So they change their mind, and then they do call the delay of game on Ekblad. At first they said, clearly he shot it, it went out into the penalty box, but at first they said it deflected, and that's what McKenzie is talking to him about.
You know, we've seen this call changed many, many times. Let's take a look. Does that puck go off of his stick or anything like that? It does not.
It did not. It's a good call.
Yeah, the fact that he was inside the Florida Panthers zone is why that call is made. You know, they call it because the league kind of ruled that that's a skill play. You should have enough skill to keep the puck within the playing area. Nobody's going to question the skill by Ekblad. But that penalty was the absolutely appropriate one, according to the rule book.
Yeah, no, it's a good job by the officials, because the first official was signaling it deflected off something, and obviously one of the others had a better look at it.
The reason why they brought in the rule was not necessarily to give people more penalties. It was more to keep teams from just firing the puck up in the stands and delaying the game and slowing the game down while you're killing a penalty, or maybe you were at the end of the game and you were down or up by a goal trying to preserve a lead. A lot of guys, and all of us, would use, what you could within the rules, and there was nobody stopping you from shooting the puck out of the playing area, so they put a stoppage to that by now calling a penalty.
Tavares with 10 to go in the period, controlling along the boards. Now he's set up. Feeds Visnovsky up at the point. Back again, Tavares takes a look, shoots Montoya with a save with a 2.5 to go in the period.
Well, the 12th best power play in the NHL. It's up there in the average area. But this is something that is on the backs of Tavares right there. He's got 10 power play goals for the season, but that only puts them 5th in the National Hockey League. So other teams have been able to capitalize with the man advantage slightly more than this young man, who is an ideal leader going into the new millennium for the New York Islanders and a new building.
Bolin and Strome on the draw with a second and a half to go, and it comes out of his zone. The Islanders will have power play time. We start the second. Strong period by Al Montoya in goal, getting his first start in a while. And the Panthers, Jimmy Hayes has a goal. The Panthers had a lot of opportunities, though, to take the lead.
Well, of the 12 shots that they directed towards Halak, I do believe that 7 or so, at least half of them, were excellent scoring chances. Take it back to Fleischman being all alone in front of the net, and Bolin, and several more. So the Florida Panthers now have to keep their head up. Don't be disappointed that you don't have a lead. Just keep playing the way you did in the first period, and it looked pretty good on the Cats.
They file past our Fox Sports Florida Panthers banner there. Coming up, a farewell to an old friend. A tour of the Nassau Coliseum is just ahead. And we'll get inside what's coming up for the Florida Panthers as well. And recap, it was an exciting first period of hockey. A lot of scoring chances. We're 1-1 after 20. Panthers hockey on Fox Sports Florida is brought to you by South Florida Ford. Visit us at southfloridaford.com. And by Doctors Hospital for Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. Online, it's baptisthealth.net/ortho. The Panthers looking for 2 points to end up this road trip after dropping tough games in New Jersey and at Madison Square Garden. After one, they're 1-1 with the first-place Islanders. Full score of 14 on the year. He continues to add to his career high. We'll start the second period. The Islanders with power play time remaining. 47 seconds left in Aaron Ekblad's delay of game penalty. John Tavares has an assist in this game. Came in tied for 11th in the NHL in scoring. What a season he's having again.
What a January. He's been named the second star of the NHL for the month of January. You know, so I talked to an old teammate of mine, Butch Goring, doing the broadcast for the New York Islanders, and he said, January, always a great month. Hey, Denny? I said, no, Butch, I hated the month of January. It was that transitionary month. For some reason, it was never a great month or a good month for me. But obviously, Butch felt otherwise. But he's a phone.
You forgot. It's been a while. Say that when he's not around.
I will say that to him.
No, don't say that to him.
He's quite a bit older, you know what I'm saying?
I do. Here's Tavares now, moving in. Goodbranson turned him away. Tavares still with it. Ekblad's penalty winding down. Brock Nelson goes to the point for Boychuk. Vishnofsky. Tavares. Vishnofsky again. Ekblad joins the play, put out in front, cleared away by Dave Bolin, but he couldn't find Ekblad to the point shot, and Montoya with a big save through the traffic with Tavares right in front.
Boy, you can't make those kinds of mistakes in your own zone. A little pass, and all of a sudden it turned into a big scoring chance for the New York Islanders. Bolin making that little pass that Ekblad missed.
So the Panthers with a strong penalty kill.
Almost gave it up 5-on-5, 2 seconds after the play. You just can't have that. I mean, this is a situation where, first of all, you're in the second period, so you got a long shift. All I'm saying is, I don't like cute stuff. And you got that pass. I don't know why Ekblad missed that, but I tell you what, that turned into a really good scoring opportunity for the New York Islanders when it should not have been. 5-on-5 should have been going the other way in a more safer fashion.
Point shot here, deflected on goal, Montoya. And then again, he got the save on Clutterbuck on the rebound. Al Montoya's been strong so far in this hockey game for the Panthers.
Well, that first shot was deflected. It went from being a low shot to hitting him on top of the shoulder.
Barkov now at center. Plays it ahead, but off the stick of Boyes. Montoya was good last week at home, or should I say about 11 days ago at home, and Panthers played Detroit. Remember, they were up 5-2. He replaced Roberto Luongo. He made some big saves to give the Panthers a chance, didn't allow a goal, and eventually wound it up a 5-4 loss. Barkov with a shot deflected to the boards. Boyes plays it, put out in front, and cleared away.
Well, actually, the last start was January 9th when we were on the West Coast in that wild game, 6-5 win in Calgary. So that was his last start, and it turned into a win. Montoya does have a 2-0 record against these New York Islanders.
Former Islander, played a couple of seasons here in 10-11 and 11-12. And this puck catches the Islander bench for a whistle.
And you mentioned when Montoya came in relief against Detroit, he stopped 10 of all 10, and goaltending coach Rob Dallas asked him after the game, why'd you play well? And he said, well, I did this, and I kind of did that right. He said, no, it goes back to your practices. You had 3 or 4 really strong practices before you went into that net. He said, I need you to have those kind of practices to play better, and that's been the main focus for Montoya.
An interesting point there, and he made some big saves in that game against the Red Wings, and the Panthers nearly came all the way back from 5-2 down.
And Billy can tell you that's the focus of every coach. They watch practice with a much closer eye than most players think, because if you're not practicing well, you all remember Mike Yeo of the Minnesota Wild, how he stopped practice and started yelling at his team. It's important to practice well if you're going to play well.
Montoya sticks that one away. Panthers need to get back to getting some pressure on Yaroslav Halak. They had that stretch in the first where they really put the heat on him, but haven't had much since. Petrovic moves it along, Denny.
And again, this is a dreaded second period where the Florida Panthers have that long shift. You got to think a little more before you go on and off the ice, and maybe just keep your shifts a lot shorter.
Goodbranson played it behind the net. But Hickey is there, knocked away. Puck is free. Peary sets up Bolin. To the point, Willie Mitchell. Lets a wrister go right on. Stick save Halak, and it's out of play. You can catch the Panthers in action at the BB&T Center, whether it's a night out with the family, spending time with friends, or catching the Cats against some of the NHL's best. There's a ticket package for you by going to FloridaPanthers.com. Well, that was a good shift right there.
And maybe for the Florida Panthers that have the fans that have been following us on this New York trip. So yes, the Panthers have had good shifts, but they've got to get back to what you're saying, a little more consistency, and every line comes out and applies that kind of pressure. The goal scoring is just not coming easy. 12 shots on goal in the first period. We counted 8 excellent chances. Halak was there for each and every one of them, except the redirection by Jimmy Hayes.
Near chance there. Bolin won that faceoff clean, right back to Peary behind him, but he couldn't get the quick shot away. It's exactly what you're looking for from Peary. And now Nielsen finds a loose puck. Plays it up high, but it's past Vishnowsky. Grabowski in over the Panther line, cuts to the middle and shoots. Save Montoya, rebound. Loose in front, Fleischman got a piece of it. Peary over to Campbell. The Panthers doing a good job, one and done. Montoya's making the first save, and they're coming up with rebounds. Campbell carries all the way in. And a little drop to the point by Upshaw is knocked away. That is dangerous when Tavares is out there. Ekblad is back to cover. Upshaw, one who had one of those great chances in the first, but hit the post. A 3-on-1 break-in for the Panthers on that play.
Someone's got to start moving. There we go.
And it's Ekblad. Off McKenzie's skate, though, but...
Bad pass. That's the kind of thing that just kills any offensive thrust. I mean, you want to be able to make your forward skate into the puck. So if you're going to miss him, miss ahead of him.
Kopetsky battling DeHaan. Tavares is there, throws it right up the middle, all the way down the ice. And let's see if it carries for icing. It does.
Now, if you want to keep pressure, it's amazing. I often refer to the same thing. Look at all the times you've seen the end of a hockey game. One team is behind by a goal. They pull their goaltender. Every player who touches the puck on the offensive side of the puck is shooting. And for some reason, the puck never goes back to the defensive team. It always comes back. Shooting the puck and keeping the puck ahead of your teammates is always a positive.
DeHaan lifts it all the way through center. Kulikov got a piece of it, but it's gloved down. There's Josh Bailey.
Good example right there. Not a particularly direct pass, but just keep that puck ahead and have your players skate into it. And now the Islanders still have puck control.
Bailey out in front. It's Boychuk, side of the net. They try to jam at him. Montoya made the save. Pretty smart play there by Lee. Barkov. Picked up now by Kulikov. He'll get through center. That puck fluttering on him. Settles it down. Takes a shot. Glove save. And no rebound.
Goldie, you mentioned you wanted more from the veterans, too. I think Thomas Weissman was the best Panther forward in that first period. Very active. Scotty Upshall hit the post. So they are getting more out of those veterans that were scratched.
Well, you know, two guys, as long as they're healthy, can have to sit out. And if you want to stay in the lineup, it's one way to do it. Play well.
That solves a lot of problems.
Well, the crowd has exploded here for another reason. The architect of those great teams in the 1970s and 80s, Bill Torrey, was just honored. His picture was up on the board. He is here along with us on this New York trip.
Time out in the second. We remain even up at the Coliseum. Great Super Panther fans. They've been in every game on the road trip looking for a win here tonight. And Billy, the Panthers are doing some things well tonight.
They are. They're getting after the New York Islander defenseman. And what you need is a strong, healthy forecheck. Put pressure on the defenseman, try and create turnovers. This was all in the first period what the Panthers were able to do. Carry hard on the puck, separates his man, ends up in a grade A scoring chance for Thomas Fleischmann. And then again, Fleischmann hustles. Ryan Strome gets knocked on the seat of his pants. Boland on the back end, and north-south hockey, straight lines. Nothing fancy. Get in there, forecheck hard again. The Panthers would end up with another scoring chance. So the Panthers, all their scoring chances they're getting has been because of that forecheck.
Hey, Billy, we noticed halfway through the first period that the play settled down quite a bit. Is that the Florida Panthers kind of slowing down, or is it something the Islanders have done?
I think the Panthers just trying to play smart this whole game, back-to-back games. You just want to make sure you don't give up odd man rushes, and that's the thing. No 3-on-2s or 2-on-1s for the Islanders.
Islander goal came 1:44 into the game. The Panthers answered back about 3 minutes later. Hayes from Bukestad and Jokinen. That's where we are. Hayes jumps on a loose puck. He's onside, gets to the forehand and shoots. Glove by Halak.
Now, Jimmy Hayes had a pretty emotional night in New York last night. Obviously, we talked a lot about it with his dad there and his brother Kevin, getting a big goal in the first period for the New York Rangers. I tell you, it was a moment where it was kind of special because before the game, Kevin Hayes had been asked about what's it like to play against your brother. Well, they'd only met the one time in Florida. And Kevin said, I was playing on the fourth line, so I never got to play against my brother Jimmy. But then as we saw with Aladino's changing of lines, Kevin has moved up to one of the top 6, ended up scoring, and ended up playing directly head-to-head against his brother during the game in Madison Square Garden.
Alex Petrovic on the second attempt, able to get the puck out of the zone. Islanders have become much stingier defensively as this game has gone on. Panthers with 2 shots here in this second period. Cizikas drops for Bailey, slap shot, or actually I don't know, more of a pass for Martin trying to hit him on a redirection. But Martin didn't get there, and then Petrovic with a hit on Martin. Cleared out to center, Scotty Upshall catches up to it. Spins it around the boards, McKenzie on his horse. Back around again, Goodbranson put it deep in the zone. Goodbranson again. Wouldn't let him clear. Kopetsky unable to pull to the forehand, though. Vishnowsky on the back check. It was Upshall causing the problems, and Upshall fires ahead. Hickey stole it away. Brad Boys moving in the slot. Sets up Mitchell for a chance. The puck is blocked away, though. Boys read the play well and got the steal. Mitchell over to his partner, Eric Goodbranson. He moves quickly to the Islander line and pushes it further into the zone. Franz Nielsen trying to get free. Finds Grabowski. Hamonic carries. Hamonic tucks it out in front. It was in the air. No one could get a stick on it. Grabowski outside the line, pressured and stolen away by Barkov. You see there the strength that Barkov has. Nice move by Huberdeau. Nielsen hit by Boyes. Huberdeau bumped by Hamonic. Huberdeau trying to fight through that Hamonic check. He's got them all jammed up. And DeHaan has it and able to clear.
Little better shift there, and
Ekblad recovered after the misplay.
Yeah, I wonder if he's changed anything on his hockey stick. That's a couple of times in tonight's game that Ekblad seemed to have mishandled the puck or not able to pick up a pass. Not the norm for the young rookie.
Hayes fights off the Boychuk check. The backhander on goal save. The rebound was there. And now Bukestad along the board. Strong play by Jimmy Hayes going to the net. Puck stays in play. Kulikov's on it. Jokinen for Hayes. Tucks it out in front. Off a skate. It's Hayes again. He's been strong. Kulikov has a look. He fires high over the net. Jokinen gives to Petrovic. He throws it down low. Bukestad for Hayes again. He shoots wide. And then the carom off the glass. Unfortunate. Because Kulikov was waiting at the point for the puck. It never came to him. Montoya gloves it midway through the game.
All right, I'm going to give you the good and the bad. I won't talk about the ugly yet. The good, a couple of solid hits. Bingo right there on Martin, and that is young Petrovic. Before the game, Coach Gallant talked about making contact. McKenzie does that as well, down low in the offensive zone. That got things rolling. And then the bad, two really good shooting opportunities, Kulikov and Hayes. And they both missed the net.
Another good save by Montoya off the shot right off the draw. Vishnowsky can unload, and he did there. Nice feed. Fleischmann for Goodbranson moving in. Goodbranson on the backhand score! Eric Goodbranson! What a goal, and the Panthers lead.
I'll tell you what, leave it to the defenseman, Eric Goodbranson, who has looked like he has found the fountain of youth in the last couple of games. Had also a big game in New York. Watch him as he digs in on Cizikas, who is not going to power him enough to get him off, and that is squeezing the puck past Halak. Now, it may have deflected off the defender's stick, which would have been Cizikas, but I tell you what, the big man strode down, got the shot on net, and the Florida Panthers get rewarded. Prior to that, two good scoring chances, and Jimmy Hayes and Kulikov had both missed the net.
Fleischmann will get the primary assist. Peary with one as well. Pretty good play by Fleischmann with that little feed for Goodbranson, who now has 2 goals in his last 7 games suddenly. We're seeing offense from the Panthers defenseman, the 3rd pick in the 2010 draft, getting more ice time and showing he deserves it.
You know, and that 3rd goal in his repertoire was the 1st goal in the 1st game of the season for him.
Peary in his own zone, battling Tavares. Peary had goals in 4 or 5 coming in, gets on the score sheet tonight with the assist. The work continues deep in the Panthers zone. Goodbranson and Lee, 2 big bodies, and Mitchell digs it free. Here comes McKenzie. Mitchell joins the rush. Right off the bench. The Panthers couldn't hold it in, though. Kopensky hopped over on the change. And we got a penalty coming up here.
The Panthers inherit themselves right away. Too many men on the ice.
So a power play coming up just minutes after Eric Goodbranson with a beautiful goal. So the Panthers grabbed the lead on the Goodbranson goal, but now, Billy, the Panthers are shorthanded.
And we haven't seen this from the Panthers hardly all year. A miscommunication on the bench. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 players in your screen. That is too many. And you can see the Panthers just got crossed up on a line change. Unfortunately, Gerard Gallant runs a marvelous bench because we have hardly seen this all year from the Panthers. I don't remember one. Do you guys? This might be the first one we've seen all year for too many men.
We've had it a couple of times, but it was a long, long time ago. And I think what we talked about is new coach, new team, and that may have been the cause of it, but we certainly have not seen the bench minors like that.
Tavares sets up on the power play. Here's Visnovsky over to Nielsen. Tavares is down low, and he's got the puck now. Walks up the board, circles in, circles back. Visnovsky, and Boychuk fires. Another good save by Al Montoya. And Goodbranson gets it all the way down, actually, on goal.
That shot by Boychuk, that's the one that they ended up getting as a bonus when they were able to make the trade for Boychuk from the Boston Bruins. Well known as a big shooter in Boston, and now a big part of their power play here.
Boychuk hammers one on goal. Saved by Montoya again. Boychuk knocked away by McKenzie. Boy, Boychuk and Visnovsky have really taken some big blasts. McKenzie with a steal, shorthanded, and Halak makes the save. Oh, Derek McKenzie. How big would that have been?
It would have been huge. The Florida Panthers always sort of having a tough time getting that second goal to make it a 2-goal lead, and Visnovsky just absolutely hands it to him. I mean, I just don't know why you make those little sort of backhanded foot passes. I guess some of them work, and after a while you think for granted they'll get by, but knocked down by McKenzie that created his shorthanded chance. Oh boy. You know, a play like that also would deflate the New York Islander bench.
Here's a chance. Strome, the pass. Oh, Montoya. Great save on Josh Bailey. Hamonic now walks in. Puts it in front. This time they score.
You know what? It's amazing how many times this year we've talked about had the Florida Panthers been able to capitalize. Well, had McKenzie been able to capitalize on the shorthanded opportunity, you would not be seeing the New York Islanders celebrating what appears to be Strome's goal on the redirection. Just before that, some very solid saves by the goaltender Montoya, and there you see the deflection. That was a very solid play, really, by the defenseman Hamonic, who did not keep his head down at all. He kept it up. Obviously saw the opportunity to shoot on net, but a better one in getting the puck towards Strome, who redirected it into the open net.
Here's Huberdeau giving to Campbell. Try to get it in front, knocked away, and now it's a 2-on-1. Clutterbuck and Martin. Martin forced away by Aaron Ekblad. Super defensive work there by Ekblad. So much like the Panthers did in the first after the Islanders took a 1-0 lead. Florida answered quickly. After Goodbranson gave the Panthers the lead, the Islanders tie it quickly on the power play. Here's Barkov with a shot. Glove save, Halak. He'll hold it. Anders Lee credited with the goal. He's got both tonight for the Islanders.
Well, that was a shot that went out of the playing area. Missed the net.
Number 27, Anders Lee.
Well, just after they tied it up, in come the New York Islanders, and there you take the man out. Boy, is that classic, as the Florida Panthers' young rookie defenseman not only separates the player from the puck, but just totally takes him out of the play. That's what you want.
Leddy and Hamonic, the two defensemen, get the assists on Lee's second of the game. And this puck came back over the line, so it's an offside call on the Panthers.
And Denny, you mentioned that play by Hamonic. He had his head up the whole way. That was a shot pass on the stick of Lee. He had his head up, but he went to release that puck, but he knew where that stick was of Lee and just put it right there for the redirection.
Yeah, quite a play by Lee.
Well, you got to keep your head up all the time, and I'll tell you what, I thought that maybe it had been Strome who was standing there, but I guess I am corrected in that it was Lee who made the deflection before it got to the crease. But irrespective of all of that, another great play by a defenseman.
So the Islanders have had the only two power plays of the game.
Yeah.
Moments after McKenzie was stopped by Halak shorthanded, the Islanders tie it up. And speeding in is Nelson. Kulikov took Grabner out of the play. Boland up the boards looking for Peary. Knocked down. Strome centering pass. It's Nielsen with a shot he missed. And Peary this time able to clear.
You know, the Islanders have shown a little bit why they have some soft spot, no doubt about it, in terms of team play, but they get scoring chances from every line.
Puck deflected out of play as we get late on in the second. Tied at 2. Lee has both goals tonight for the New York Islanders. That's 15 on the season.
Let's take a look how it really started. The Florida Panthers all bunched up on one side of the ice. It's supposed to be a box. So Hamonic is able to walk all the way in and pick his target. And I thought that it was going to be Lee. See 18 up there? He's got the stick. He's wide open. Lee is wide open. Hamonic was wide open. Oh, boy. You can tell right there that's nowhere near a good defensive posture in an effort to try and kill off the penalty. The Florida Panthers caught running around, and they have to pay for it.
There's the big season Lee is having for the Islanders.
Hey, what, Mike Hoffman having an outstanding season in Ottawa. We've been following Philip Forsberg of Nashville. We're going to see him in a few days. Tell you what, he has been red hot from day one.
Campbell couldn't hold it in. An offside call. Panthers are coming home, and on Friday night they're hosting Panthers Live. You can get a Q&A and meet some Panther players. All starting at 7 o'clock at World of Beer in downtown Miami this Friday night. Cats are home Thursday for the Kings, Sunday afternoon for Nashville. 5 minutes to go in the second. Ekblad taps it ahead for Fleischmann. Lead pass, looking for Peary. Cut off. Nielsen the other way. Kuhlman couldn't control. Peary at center, shovels it ahead. Dave Bolland is in. Puts it in front. Fleischmann tracks it down. Campbell gets around Tavares. Campbell gives to Peary. Quick feed, looking for Bolland, is knocked away though. Panthers looking to get the change. Now they do get the McKenzie line on. Stretch pass was tipped away by Kopetsky. Mitchell with Bailey. Lee went down behind the net. Tavares able to play it. Bumped by McKenzie. Ekblad works on Lee. Big body. Skates free. Puts it in front. Deflected away. And Ekblad able to get it out of the zone. Lee goes 6'3", 227.
Well, he's a prime candidate to take over from Calaposa, who we said is going to be injured out 4 to 6 weeks. He attached the red in the eye. This guy Lee, with his size, probably is taking up that ice time now where he's going to be the new power forward. Certainly looks like he gets to those areas quite comfortably.
Great atmosphere in here, too. Talk about leaving this place, but it's loud down here at ice level. These Islander fans are in it. I know they're leaving, but still pretty electric building.
First place for the Islanders, lead the Penguins by a point in the division. This puck trickles, shot of the net, and Halak covers up. Islanders have 65, Pittsburgh with 64, the Rangers with 62.
Well, you know, just to go on Billy's comments, it was a place where in the beginning they had their doubts about this new expansion team of the New York Islanders in 72 that Bill Torrey brought here. But I tell you what, by the mid-70s, having beaten the Rangers 1975 playoff series, it really became an Islander barn. And boy, we took pride in making it difficult for the opponent to win in here.
Cizikas controls, throws it in front. The shot by Clutterbuck. It went wide. Kulikov got a piece of it, but then right on the stick of Clutterbuck afterwards. Boys. Sticked away by Halak, and the puck goes out of play. Now things get a little physical. Huberdeau in the middle of that. He'll settle down.
Huberdeau's been the tough guy. He's been involved in more fights than anybody else on the Florida Panthers, going back to taking on Dorset in Vancouver.
Tonight on Fox Sports Live, all the news from around the world of sports, NHL, NBA highlights, all coming up on Fox Sports Live. Tonight on Fox Sports 1 and streaming on Fox Sports Go. You know, for the Islanders, they've got 32 wins this year. Ties a team record for most wins in the first 49 games. The 78-79 team had 32 wins, and through 22 home games, it's the second best they've ever been in this building. Again, the 78-79 Islanders, you well know, Denny, you guys started 18-0-4 through 22 games. Pretty remarkable. Islanders here, 17-5 through 22.
Well, that's all people can talk about, how good this team has been this year and how they're vacating the building. It's tough.
Panthers right there with them tonight. Islanders led 1-0. Panthers led 2-1. Each team responded quickly, and that's where we are. Steal here by Hayes. Bjugstad puts it out in front. Jokinen blocked away. Jokinen again. To the point. It's Petrovic's shot. Deflected. Hayes is on it. Hickey puts it up the wall, and the Islanders are able to clear.
You'd love to see the Panthers get a power play in this game. The Islanders have the worst penalty-killing group in the NHL. That might decide this game.
Good point. Here's Bolin. Has an open man. The shot. Halak the save on Fleischmann. Great look by Bolin to find the open man.
Fleischmann missed the puck. He did not get 100% of that shot.
Now it's Peary. Puts it in the corner. Played up the boards. Good. Branson knocks it down to keep it alive. If the Panthers touch, it's a hand pass, though. And they didn't. Islanders actually touched the puck first. Vishnofsky. And they finally clear. Now taken by Tavares. Mitchell with him. Bolin there to help out. Gave Tavares a little shot. And Bolin's got the puck. Tavares slashed him. Dave Bolin drew the call. Delayed penalty. Thrown on goal. Dave Bolin. That is the epitome of why, when you think about him as a player, what does he do? Is he valuable? He did it right there.
Well, I tell you what, a pretty good elbow. Pretty good elbow to the chops right here. Bingo. Now Tavares is looking for a little compensation, meaning we better have a power play. He sees the referee is not putting the arm up, so he is just going to say, the heck with it. I'll try to take care of it myself. Retaliation penalty by Tavares. And I guess his goalie said that Bolin gets the last laugh.
Indeed, literally, Denny. Here we go on the power play. The four forwards with Ekblad.
Now you got to make him pay. This is the deal.
Exactly. That is the key, isn't it? It's Kuhlman against Barkov. Barkov won it. Bjugstad over to Ekblad. Traffic in front. Bjugstad, though, busted his stick on the shot and shattered in two. Huberdeau gives it to Bjugstad, who gets a new stick, though. Bjugstad moving in. Let's fly. Misses wide.
Now they got to get set up all over again. Get that stick out of the way. There you go.
Huberdeau. Barkov. Huberdeau again. Cross ice looking for Bjugstad. Deflects in front. Bjugstad tracks it down. The give to Barkov. Quickly Bjugstad. They move it to Ekblad, but it's out of his reach. Little too much heat on that pass. Ekblad trying to turn it back for the Islanders. Stuffing up center ice. The 18-year-old waits and hands to Brandon Peary. They had it set up there. And Montoya calmly for Ekblad. Franz Nielsen causing problems for Jokinen. Jokinen fights through it. Ekblad right up the gut. In over the line. Give to Peary. Lost it. Campbell now at the blue line. Plays it in deep. Boychuk the first man there. And it comes out again. Final seconds. Campbell up ahead. It's picked off, though. And Clutterbuck with a second left puts it in front. Strome couldn't get a stick on it. And that'll do it for two periods. We were 1-1 after one. They exchange goals again in the second period.
Well, the Florida Panthers continue with the shots on goal. 21 they got towards Halak. Did get a goal and tied another period. So we're going to go to the third, all tied up here in Long Island.
Second intermission just ahead. It is Black History Month. We'll have another tribute coming up at the intermission. More of our tour of Nassau Coliseum, all the stats and the highlights. We got a good one going here in New York tonight. Like last night at Madison Square Garden, the Panthers even after 40 minutes. Panthers hockey on Fox Sports Florida is brought to you by Southeast Toyota. Toyota, let's go places. More on Potvins' memories of the Coliseum and a tour when we come back at intermission. New York at Nassau Coliseum. 2-2 game heading to the third. Panthers will begin on the power play. The Islanders are in first place in the Metropolitan Division. Part of the reason they finish games well. There they are amongst the league leaders in winning percentage when they're tied after 2 periods of play. Now for the Panthers, last night was an exception where the Rangers got 3 goals in the third because the Panthers all season long have been one of the stingiest teams in the third period, and they'll need it coming up here tonight.
Well, I tell you what, you look at the goals for, a little different than the goals allowed. New York Islanders do not look good in this category. Outscored, they're -8 in the third period hockey this season. The Florida Panthers are hanging on to a +1 in the goals for category in the third period hockey. So the Florida Panthers now would love to get a great 20 minutes in, get on a plane and go home, salvage something from this road trip.
27 seconds left of the Tavares slashing penalty. Thomas Fleischmann's led the Panthers tonight in shots on goal with 4. Eric Goodbranson, who has a goal, has had 3. Here we go on the man advantage. Huberdeau picks it free. Ekblad, though, has to come back to play. Campbell. Ekblad. Campbell. Centering pass stolen away by Nielsen. Final seconds of the penalty winding down. The Islanders were able to cash in on the power play in the second period to get the game tied. They're able to kill this one off. Panthers 0 for 1 on the night, but Huberdeau breaks free. Again, a centering pass tipped away. Cizikas cuts to the middle. Takes a shot, deflected off a stick and out of play. Panther season ticket holders, thanks for watching tonight's telecast here on Fox Sports Florida. Tonight's code word, Panthers. In the next 24 hours, log on to mypanthersrewards.com and put in the code word. That's home Thursday night for the LA Kings, starting a 3-game homestand. Trying to grab a win here before that. Josh Bailey controls, sets up Leddy with a shot, deflected off a stick. Lee again, who has both goals, camped right out in front of Al Montoya.
And we talked about the fact that he's a big body. That shot, I don't think that Al Montoya saw it.
Montoya has been really strong in this game. Absolutely no chance on that second goal that Lee tipped in on the power play. Jokinen shoots in, gloved by Halak. Bjugstad bothering Leddy, but he gets free. Smooth skating Nick Leddy to the red line, in over the Panther line. But Granson gave him a big shoulder. And Jokinen takes the puck. Breaking in with Jimmy Hayes. 2-on-2. Hayes controls, trying to get out in front. Hayes fights off a check. Puck ricochets and then cleared to center.
Ladies and gentlemen, a scoring change on the line.
Kulikov with a bump on Strong. And Kulikov works it free. Cut off by Leddy. Long shift for Leddy. Can the Panthers take advantage of the offensive zone? Put right in front, and Peary got a stick on it. Halak will cover.
Well, that almost stuck right through as Halak was looking for it, and Peary was right on the doorstep trying to squeeze it behind the left pad. You'll see it right here, right where the glove is. It seems to appear you can see where Halak had lost sight of it for a moment. Panthers don't get lucky like that.
Face-off win, and Petrovic's shot hammered off the glass and goes out of play. Bolin with a face-off win there, and a good one. Now they're closing Nassau Coliseum, and Billy Lindsay on that Panthers all-time list, playing a lot of games in this building.
There you go, I did. Wonder if I got many goals here in this building. I don't remember. I did like playing here, though. It was always fun, and this atmosphere here tonight was, you can tell why it's a lot of fun, but, well, I guess that's good for something, right?
Turnover here. Fleischman to Peary on the backhand. Halak makes another stop. But a penalty on, I believe, the Islanders. Did they take down Peary? What's the call here?
Well, Hickey's going to get a high-sticking call.
And Bolin jumps in there against big bad Matt Martin.
This is right in front of me. Can I reach the grass here?
Yeah, you're right there, Billy. You mad at Martin? There you are. There's Lindsay.
These players are too big for me nowadays.
Well, you saw what happened there, Billy. Peary, after his attempt on goal, got high-sticked and going to the penalty box.
New York number 52 is for high sticking.
Number 15 gets a high sticking. Oh, I thought it was Hickey, but instead it's going to be number 15, which is Clutterbuck.
And I did mention that they have the worst penalty-killing group, the Islanders, but they also have 8 short-handed goals, the most in the NHL. Panthers with 4 forwards have to be aware.
Right back on the power play. Barkov jammed up Nielsen. Bukestad able to play it. Here's Ekblad. Bukestad fires a one-timer. Save, rebound, score! It's big Jimmy Hayes again on the doorstep. His second of the night, and the Panthers have the lead.
You know, when the Panthers drew up this type of a power play several games ago, they needed to have the face-off won, and that happened. They needed to have the puck in their hands on that line at the top. That happened, and my goodness, don't even think of passing Bukestad. Get that shot on goal. That's exactly what happened. And right there, no chance for Halak or the New York Islanders, as it was either going to be Jimmy Hayes or Barkov. It was Jimmy Hayes who grabbed that rebound and put it away.
Barkov, great job off the draw. Ekblad over to Bukestad, and then Hayes, and the Panthers reclaim their lead, and Bolin walks in. Puts it out in front off the skate. Fleischman tracks it down. Fleischman gets to the forehand. The give to Bolin, setting up Mitchell for a one-timer. Halak saw it all the way, and will cover up 2 tonight, and now 15 on the year for Jimmy Hayes.
Fleischman getting hit hard, and you've got referee Francis Charon saying no, it was not a bad hit, but he's okay.
McKenzie wins the draw. Quick shot from the point here to flex wide. McKenzie again. And now Kopetsky. Upshaw's out in front. Kopetsky backhander denied. Kopetsky battling Boychuk. Upshaw takes the puck. McKenzie now. His line spending time in the offensive zone after the Hayes goal gives Florida the lead. Petrovic on the pinch keeps it alive. Petrovic bangs Leddy. Free to McKenzie. Kopetsky again. Looking. Kulikov quickly over to Petrovic. He'll let a wrister go, deflected by Upshaw wide. And the Islanders finally able to get it up and out to center. But knocked away again. Upshaw never got out of the zone. It's an offside call.
Goldie, why don't we just shorten it to BJH? Big Jimmy Hayes.
I like that.
There you go, a little BJH. We can just shorten it up a little bit. 2 goals, a healthy scratch a couple of games ago. Didn't happen in New York, but when he gets scratched, he comes back with a vengeance.
Yeah, this was 2 games later. He had points in every other game. His first one back after a scratch. Bukestad has a pair of assists tonight. DeHaan for the Islanders. Up ahead for Anders Lee. He has both goals tonight. Fights off the Goodbranson check. Goodbranson keeps an eye on Lee. Tavares trying to get it back to Lee. Goodbranson steps in front, takes the hit, clears the puck. Nearly 4 minutes into the third period. And Panther power play coming through.
Now Panthers have had 5 shots in this period. Not a one going the other way. And that was not going to count. Tavares missing the net by a big-time shot.
Here comes Bukestad trying to split the D. Halak able to play it around the boards. The pressure here from Hayes, but Tavares funnels it out to center. Campbell stepped up to pop it away from Hickey.
Panthers now with 5 power play goals in the last 5 games.
Yeah, they had that big switch after the All-Star break. Scored 3 against Detroit. Had one last night, another one tonight. It's the go-ahead goal tonight. Jokinen after the puck from the angle. Throws one on net. Halak steers it away. This is Brock Nelson. Sweeping wide. Ekblad is with him. Ekblad gives him a shoulder, and Ekblad played it beautifully to Bolin, but the Panthers couldn't get it out of the zone. Campbell, though, now has some room and does get the puck to center. Leddy controls the bouncing puck. It's knocked down by Fleischmann. Boychuk throws it cross ice. Martin at his own line. Gets it to Boychuk. Martin with a big hit there, trying to get a little momentum going. Panthers break in. 2-on-1. Peary has Kulikov. Peary, backhander. Oh, Halak made the save. Brandon Peary with another good scoring chance there.
Now, Peary been on the ice for quite a while. Maybe a little pep in the step was missing, but it was only a couple inches that he missed from going over the glove of Halak.
Travis Hamonic behind Montoya's net. Out the other side. DeHaan with a shot kicked out by Montoya. The rebound just eluded Cizikas. That's the first shot of the period for the Islanders. Another shot here comes through wide. Petrovic knocks the puck down and backhands out. It hit the Panther bench and we get a whistle. The Panthers have a Hayes goal to go ahead here in the third. Panthers have the lead on the Hayes goal, his second of the game here in the third, and Billy, it has been a strong effort in net tonight.
Al Montoya back between the pipes, and he's been fantastic for the Panthers in this game. He's given up 14 goals in his previous 3 starts, looking to bounce back. He's made a number of big saves in this game. He's been sharp. He's controlled his rebounds fairly well. The rebounds have been there. The defense have been able to clear him out of harm's way. And guys, remember on that Goodbranson goal, he made a dynamic save right before Goodbranson started that rush. So he's had some timely goaltending in this game for the Panthers.
Former New York Islander, been strong so far, and now he's got a lead. Panthers have come out strong here in the third and outshot the Islanders 8-1 in this period so far.
Well, it took him all of 8 seconds to get that go-ahead goal on the power play, and the face-off by Barkov got it all started.
And here is Barkov playing it around the boards. Boys got the clear. DeHaan, checked by Boys, thrown up the wing. Josh Bailey catches up to it, stops, waits, shoots wide. Tavares behind the net. Barkov knocked it away, and Huberdeau's on it. Huberdeau gets around one man, and then it's deflected into the Islander bench off the stick of Hamonic.
Well, we talked about the importance of getting the big guys going, and Bjugstad and Hayes have both got 2 points here in this hockey game. Hayes with a couple of goals, Bjugstad getting both assists. Well, they sure needed it. They had a terrible game last night in New York, and the bounce back is certainly well needed and well deserved by the efforts right now. And it's as simple as Bjugstad shooting, Hayes getting on top of the crease. It's as simple as that.
Jokinen on the wing with those two has an assist as well tonight, so that line has 5 points. Campbell plays it around. Upshaw up ahead. McKenzie tries to get it to him. Upshaw would have been offside. Well, they've had some good. Tell you what, Upshaw had that chance at the post in the first, and McKenzie shorthanded was one-on-one with Halak, and McKenzie forces a turnover. Hayes. But he couldn't control. Grabowski does instead. Throws it all the way down, and this is icing on the Islanders.
Kind of looks like the Panther team we've seen earlier in the season. One thing, Denny, to pay attention to is short shifts. Watch it up there. Back-to-back games. You don't want to stay on the ice longer than 30, 45 seconds. And you want to make sure you change when the puck is in the Islanders' end.
Or score 2 more goals.
That would help.
And Mark Morris back behind the bench.
A lot of conversation there. Yeah. Morris in the middle, John Madden on the left. Of course, Gerard Gallant on the right.
Already planning what...
Turnover here. Jokinen shoots. It just misses. Hayes forced that turnover. And another great chance there for Jokinen. Montoya with a save there on that Strome shot.
Well, as long as the shots are coming from long away.
Bjugstad puts it out in front. Tipped away. Here comes Grabner. He can fly. Grabner gets a step. Grabner trying to tuck it in. Montoya stood his ground, and he'll hold on.
Well, Jokinen goes on that line. We talked about how Bjugstad and Hayes had a tough fight last night. There we see Jokinen from a turnover getting a shot on goal. He is put on that line to stabilize those two guys, and it's happened. And here Montoya, watch this, watch the right arm. Yeah, you like that. He's protecting not only the puck, but himself, as the New York Islanders, Suzuki, was coming in on, looking for a rebound. Not going to happen.
Tavares won the draw. It's Josh Bailey now. Flipping it right through the slot. Leddy. Taken away by David Bolin. And he'll smartly just flip it in. Fleischmann after it. Leddy there first. Fleischmann now with 5 shots on goal to lead the Panthers, and a couple of them been great chances. Boychuk back again for Leddy out of his reach. Allows the Panthers to get a partial change. Fleischmann is still on. Leddy gets by 2 men. Takes a shot. Love save. Goodbranson swept the rebound to the line. Boychuk holds it in momentarily, but it's Huberdeau now. Huberdeau to center. Ekblad is joining him. Huberdeau takes a look, has Boyes jumping up, and Boyes has it. Deflected in behind the net. Leddy under pressure, stolen by Huberdeau. The give to Barkov. Back again, Huberdeau. Fires up to the point. Campbell controls. Barkov with Leddy. Huberdeau again with Cizikas. Good effort here by Barkov and Huberdeau, working hard along the wall. Barkov using the big body. The give to Huberdeau. Trying to get a shot off, he couldn't. Barkov again for Huberdeau. Free in the corner. And the Islanders finally able to clear. They never quite could get a good scoring chance, but they spent a good 30 seconds in behind the net.
They'll call it a good cycle.
Campbell dumps in. Halak's got to hang on with Kopetsky right in his face.
They're like a veteran defenseman. Chris Chelios told me a little while ago, I think Chris Chelios was well into his 40s playing for Detroit at the time. He said, I love the cycle. They screw themselves into the corner. If they don't come out of the corner on that cycle, all you're doing is spinning around, and not getting any opportunities.
Upshaw's got the puck now. Kulikov hammers one. Comes wide. McKenzie after it to give to Kopetsky. Nielsen fell down. Kopetsky hit by DeHaan. Nielsen back in the play. Hamonic got it out. And Kuhlman flips in. Jimmy Hayes on the power play earlier in the period. From Bjugstad and Ekblad as the Panthers on top. 2 goals for Hayes, 1 for Goodbranson tonight. Hayes, Bjugstad, Jokinen all on the score sheet. On the ice now. And a turnover. Goodbranson knocked it down. Bjugstad carries in. Trying to fend off 2 Islanders who are all over him. New York clears. Goodbranson up ahead again for Jokinen, who floats it in behind the net. Hayes the first man on it. Put it in the corner. And Grabner ahead for Strome. Willie Mitchell took a chop at it, but it sits behind the net for a moment. Now to the point for Hickey. Goodbranson, double teamed in the corner. The help from Bjugstad. Now it's Hayes, fights off Hickey. And Bjugstad knocks it down, and Mitchell will settle it down as the Islanders go for a change. Brandon Peary, lead pass for Bolin. Knocked away, but Peary jumps up. The quick clear, though, out of the reach of Bailey. Now Josh Bailey with the puck. Tavares has an assist in the game on that first Islander goal in 1:14 of the first. Crowd trying to get the Islanders into it. Panthers are playing some stifling hockey right now. It's Bailey. Under pressure from two Panthers, and again, the puck pursuit is good, and they clear it out. John Tavares has some ice. Boyes knocked it away. And here comes Boyes. In over the line. Boyes down the wing. In front it comes. Played back to the point. Goodbranson. And now it's Boyes again. Trying to get it to Barkov, but just couldn't quite do it. And Barkov was open for a moment, wasn't he?
He had him ready to go. I tell you what, it was cranked and ready. Barkov in a terrific position. You know, when you're referring from as a defenseman to a forward, a guy like Barkov makes himself available. That is about as good a compliment as you can give a forward, and certainly Barkov was available there for the pass.
Icing on the Panthers. We invite you to have your next company outing or any kind of family and friends gathering at the BB&T Center for a Panther game. Group tickets are available at floridapanthers.com or call the puck line. So after the icing, McKenzie and Cizikas in the circle. Free puck. The work continues. Islanders hold it in. Martin shoots wide. Down low, Cizikas. Puts it out in front. And Upshaw able to gather it in and clear. It's been a rough stretch for the Panthers. This is about as good as they have looked in the last 3 weeks, Denny. They played a solid game here tonight, now trying to finish it off.
You know what? You can find a lot of excuses. The Florida Panthers are playing in their third game in 4 nights. But Coach Gallant said there is no excuses. We are a team that has to work hard to win. This is the last period of the third game in 4 nights. Always a tough play. That's a dive right there.
It's an icing call, and I agree with you. I thought they might call a dive, but no penalty. The Islanders fans wanted a trip. Let's look at it again and see what happened.
You know, the referees want to be really strong on this and make a difference. And, you know, there's no doubt there that was really embellishing almost what you would call a slightly more than a tap by Jimmy Hayes.
Funny, all in the eyes of the beholder, about 14,000, 15,000 here at the Coliseum thought it should have been on Hayes.
No, I think they were embarrassed for Kuhlman.
Hayes on the back check, all over Kuhlman, wouldn't let him run out. Halak gave it away to Jimmy Hayes. Now it's Jokinen at the end boards. Fights off the Nielsen check. Bjugstad for Jokinen. Quick shot goes wide. And Travis Hamonic now gets those legs going. The lead pass hit the back of Grabowski's skates. Bolin bothering Grabowski. Forces him back. Less than 6 minutes to go in the third. Thomas Fleischmann tried to float it up the boards. It didn't work. Ekblad tries the other side. Keary battling Hickey. The help from Bolin, and he gets it out. Dave Bolin's had a strong game here tonight. So is his winger, Thomas Fleischmann.
Also played very strong last couple of games with Dave Bolin.
Keary feeds it to Campbell. Ekblad hit the back of the net. It's an offside call, but Panthers got out of the zone. Play rolls on, and the Islanders, let's see, is that an icing? No, they'll say it was tipped, so Ekblad quickly ahead. Barkov gets it deep. Let's see if Barkov and Boyes can get to work. Boyes has it. Down low again, but it's past Barkov. Huberdeau hustles over to hit Boychuk. Lee able to get it out of the zone. And Lee able to shoot in. He has both Islander goals tonight, Anders Lee. Huberdeau couldn't gather it in to clear. Thrown down low, Goodbranson and Boychuk. Goodbranson with a hit. Lee fights off the Barkov check. Look out, it's Tavares. Bailey Boychuk unloads, save, and Mitchell's on the rebound.
Nice coverage by goaltender Montoya. He slid across, and he was at the top of his crease. We had a pretty good angle. I don't know that Boychuk had a lot of net to shoot at.
Josh Bailey lost it. Upshaw gets it out. And he took a bump from DeHaan. 4 minutes to go now in the third period. Kopecky watches Grabowski. He's trying to get ahead of steam. Ahead for Nielsen. Kulikov. Clearing a 10 block. Kulikov tries again. And it'll be icing. Let's take a look, Denny, at our ADT defensive play of tonight's game.
Well, that happened in the second period when it was much needed. An odd man break, and the youngster does a superb play. Watch as Ekblad takes his man out, puts an end to what was an odd man rush by the New York Islanders. That is the ADT defensive play of the game.
Here's Hamonic unloading from the point. It's blocked in front. And Kopecky swiped at it, but Hamonic carries it deep in the zone. Now taken by Petrovic. Up the wall, Kopecky in the clear. It'll be another icing on the Panthers.
See if the Panthers use a timeout here. This group's been on the ice for a while. Might not want to waste it here. Big thing I've noticed down here at ice level too is the body language of the Panthers and the determination on the face. Their demeanor, body language, not very good the last couple games. It's been there this game. They've looked positive and gritty.
Well, they played a strong game. No timeout here. And off the draw. Ooh, too bad. Kulikov had the puck. We'll do it again, and we're going to have a penalty called. Oh, boy. We won't do it again. I thought they were going to drop the puck again, but they call a penalty.
17 Florida. 2 minutes for face-off violation.
Wow, on Derek McKenzie.
Oh.
Fasten the seatbelts now. The Islanders down a goal, and now they're going on the power play after the penalty on the face-off violation. Closing the hand there on the puck. You're not allowed to do that anymore. So here we go, the Islanders 1 for 2 tonight on the power play.
Well, the idea is that, you don't want to slap the puck back with your hand, and that is the violation that was caught and penalized by the linesman.
McKenzie took the face-off, though, and it's Peary in the penalty box.
Billy, we're not talking about that.
So, yeah, it's amazing, I know.
There's a problem here, and I guess the officials, unless we missed something totally, I don't know why it's Peary in the penalty box.
Here we go in the Islander power play. Tavares along the wall. Gets it to the point for Boychuk. Tipped away by McKenzie. Vishnowsky, though, puts it in the corner. Nelson battling Mitchell. Vishnowsky at the line. Nelson. In behind the net, Nelson went down. Tavares on the puck. Tavares has a broken stick. He's lucky he didn't play that puck, or that would have been a penalty. And the Panthers get the clear. We'll see if at some point Jack Capuano elects to pull Halak for a two-man advantage a bit early. Nielsen at center. Up ahead of the Boychuk flip-in. Kulikov has it knocked away, but Jokinen's got it. Bolin bothering Boychuk. 2:20 to go. 55 left on the Islander power play. Montoya left it for Kulikov. Hammers it around the boards, but it hit the stanchion in the glass. Then McKenzie got a piece of it. It went into the Panther bench. So 2:09 left on the game clock. 46 left on the Islander power play, and the Islanders elect to call timeout here. How did we get here? It's been a heck of a hockey game. Back and forth we went. The Islanders scored first. The Panthers led 2-1. The Islanders tied it. And then Jimmy Hayes on the power play in the third, his second of the night. 2 assists for Bjugstad of those goals as the Panthers on top. Al Montoya has been outstanding tonight with 31 saves.
Looks like Halak's going to stay in the net. They're going to roll with the traditional power play, not go 6-on-4.
That's a little early to pull him with a 1-goal game with a power play.
Might take that two-man advantage, though, 6-on-4. That's something you might roll the dice on, but Jack Capuano is not doing it.
Now we'll see if they win the faceoff and keep it in the zone. Maybe he elects to. McKenzie against Tavares in the circle. And Tavares able to pull it back to the point. Boychuk. Tavares has trouble. McKenzie with dog pressure on the puck gets the clear. On the PK, Derek McKenzie. 30 to go on the power play. $1:50 left in the third. Nielsen up on the wing. Strome shoots behind the net. It carries to Tavares. Here's Nielsen. Anders Lee is out in front. Lee has both Islander goals. Tavares, quick shot. Montoya the save. Tavares didn't quite get all of that. It floated in on net.
Well, you don't know. Maybe he lost his best stick. Tavares broke his stick on the previous shift. And here, that's usually a bullet from Tavares, but that didn't happen. He's not blaming it on the stick. He's not changing.
Big face-off now. It's Boland against Tavares.
Halak to the bench.
So they've got a 2-man advantage here. The net is empty. And the Islanders control Vishnofsky at the point. Hard cross-ice pass. Stroll. It's Vishnofsky shooting, deflected wide. Willie Mitchell goes off the glass. Puck is bouncing. Peary is back. It's a 6-on-5 advantage for the Islanders. But it stays in the Florida zone. Tavares down low with the extra skater on. Strome fires, blocked by Jokinen. Jokinen pressured by Bailey. Josh Bailey's got it. Good Branson with him with a minute to go in regulation. Nielsen throws it behind the net. Willie Mitchell with the puck, pressured by Tavares, who knocks it away. Bailey again. Tavares out in front. It comes to the line and out of the zone. Jokinen will hustle and get to the bench. Tavares dumps in. Good Branson bats it to the line. The Islanders were able to hold it in. Good Branson got his glove back. Here's Anders Lee over to Tavares. Stolen away. Jonathan Huberdeau. The net is empty. The give to Peary. Shooting and scoring. Empty net goal. Brandon Peary. He remains red hot. And the Panthers are up by 2 with 22 seconds left.
I'll tell you one guy that is happy, almost as happy as a goal scorer. Al Montoya came out of his crease and almost skated to the blue line in celebration of this shot right here. And if you're Huberdeau, he's been pretty good. But nobody has had the hotter hand than Brendan Peary. And Brandon Peary puts it into the open net to seal this victory. Boy, what a strong outing in the third period in particular. Third game in 4 nights. Gerard Gallant had said earlier he's not going to take an excuse of being tired. This team needed the 2 points badly, and the third period, I think, was as good as any of the 2 periods they've had previously.
And I'll tell you, the Islanders got that power play with 3:24 left, then had the goaltender pulled. They had 1 shot on goal that entire time. Montoya stops it, 32 saves, and everybody breathe the sigh of relief. The Panthers get a huge 2 points to stop the bleeding. The Rats are on the ice in Nassau Coliseum as Al Montoya is mobbed by his teammates.
Well, it was great to see Al Montoya go from the goal crease to his own blue line in celebration of that last goal into the open net. The Florida Panthers showed more consistency in this game than they have on any time in this road trip, which started in New Jersey on last Saturday. So the Florida Panthers will be happy to take these 2 points and then start the rally on home ice when they defeated the last year's Stanley Cup champions come to visit the LA Kings, who are at the moment losing 4-0.
Second stop, New York Islanders, number 27, Anders Lee. And first
Coming up, we'll have the locker room report. All the stats and highlights of this one. It was an entertaining hockey game. And to me, we'll talk about it in the postgame. It's the best game the Florida Panthers have played in about a month. It was a complete 60-minute effort. Denny, you've talked about it quite a bit. Gerard Gallant's talked about it. Billy as well. You need that full effort, and the Panthers certainly got it tonight. Final game of the road trip, Willie Mitchell's team trying to stay loose, and the Panthers came through. Jimmy Hayes was the #1 star of the night with 2 goals, including the game winner. The Panthers beat the Islanders 4-2.